you're welcome to wear shoes if you want. We actually won't be standing today. We're going to be on the mat entirely. So I apologize if you're expecting a full yoga flow. We did that a couple weeks ago. I thought I'd bring you something new. Great stretching, great breathing techniques. So you can go ahead and find a spot on your mat. You can sit cross-legged and get into a nice, comfortable position. So making sure that you have good posture, your shoulders are dropped out of the ears. You can bring your hands to heart center if you want, or just rest them on your knees. And we're just going to get into the mindset today and bring our attention and awareness to our breathing. So go ahead and close your eyes, just optional. And again, just kind of relax and melt towards the mat, keeping good posture. Once you get into a comfortable position, I want you to start bringing that awareness to your breathing. So nice deep inhale through the nose. You're going to feel that chest rise. And release, open mouth, exhale. Good. And you're going to repeat that at your own pace. Focusing on the inhale and on that exhale. With each breath, try to just feel the muscles relax. Feel yourself kind of melting more towards the mat. A lot of that tension resides in those shoulders. You don't realize once you start to drop them down how much you leave them contracted and elevated. And as you're here, I want you to set an intention for yoga today. Again, it's yoga restorative and it is yoga practice. We're not going to worry about our range of motion. You're going to focus on where you're at today. So maybe that's something you want to focus on, a challenge. Maybe it is your breathing. Maybe it is your range of motion. Maybe it's just showing up today. You already accomplished that. Just set something that you want to practice on today and think about that through your yoga practice. Then we'll reflect on it at the end of class. Could be someone, something to focus on. I'm going to challenge you here to relax the face muscles as well. So you might feel maybe tension between the eyebrows, maybe in the forehead, maybe the jaw, maybe you're clenching your teeth. Just relax. Good. 2 more breaths. That last exhale, I want you to go ahead and drop your right ear to your right shoulder as far as comfortable. Nice deep inhale and exhale back to neutral. You're going to drop the left ear to the left shoulder. You're sitting at your desk all day. And bring it back to center. Drop the chin to the chest. Feeling the stretch in the back of the neck. Exhale, bring it back to neutral. And drop behind you, so chin up to the sky. Stretching the front of the neck. Exhale back to neutral. Now we're going to gaze over the right shoulder as far as you can. Make sure there's no pain, but you're stretching that left side of the neck. And back to neutral. Other side here. And back to neutral. Good. Nice and easy. Take your right leg out to the side. That foot, if you can, as close to the center of your body as you can. Nice deep inhale, arms high. And then you're going to exhale, drop the hands towards the thigh, towards the foot on that right leg. As far as comfortable, you're going to feel a stretch on the left side and on that inner thigh, that hamstring, and just hold. Restorative yoga is about holding, focusing on the breath. So we want to stretch and hold as long as we can. Need to modify a little bit. You can always just come up to that knee. Just make sure that knee doesn't pop up, but just bend the elbows. Maybe not drop down as far. Make sure you're not forcing it. There's not too much of a shake in that leg. No pain in the back. Maybe here, if you want to roll the ankle in both directions, you need a couple rolls one direction, a couple rolls the other. You get that full body movement today. Two more breaths. Last exhale, walk your hands back to the center. We're going to go ahead and stay on this side. We're going to go ahead and drop the right hand and lift on that exhale, that arm up overhead. Changing that blood flow. Good. Exhale back to neutral. You're going to bring that left knee more towards the center, so pointing towards me if you're facing me. And then that right leg is going to, you have two options. You can bring the front of that knee or wrap it all the way around, depending on your range of motion, as long as that glute stays towards the mat. And you're going to twist towards the right. Chest is going to shine up towards the corner of the room. This is option one with the hand, or you can kind of grab your knee with your hand. If there's any, make sure there's no pain in that back. This is a modification. Backhand is your support, and you're lengthening through the rib cage. Nice spinal twist. Continue focusing on those breaths. We got two more deep ones here. Exhale, bring it back to neutral. Extend that right leg here. And then we're going to switch. So we're going to go ahead and bring the left leg out and tuck. Nice tall posture. Drop the shoulders out of the ears. Nice deep inhale, arms high. And exhale, bring it down to the thigh. Again, if you can reach the feet or the toe is great. Otherwise, bring it up to calf or knee, making sure there's not too much pain. Good. Two more breaths here. Exhale, go ahead and shift it back up to seated position. Nice deep inhale, right arm high, and drop to the left, stretching that right rib cage, that right lat here. Again, changing that blood flow. Good, and back to neutral when you're ready. And we're going to center that right knee and find your option with your left leg, wherever you want to cross it, and twisting towards. Remember to have nice tall posture, lengthening through the rib cage. Heart shines up to the corner of the room. Backhand is your support, and breathe. Two more breaths and our spinal twist. Exhale, release back to neutral. Extend and shake out those legs. And we're actually going to bring it nice and wide here to release the inner thighs and stretch the lower back. So bring it to a V position as far as comfortable. You can just let the toes kind of relax, the ankles relax. If you want, you can kind of point them for more of a stretch in the shins. We're going to go ahead and do a nice deep inhale, arms overhead. And we're going to exhale, drop to the center. Now you're going to reach as far as you can, as long as you're not like pulling and going too far, whatever works for you, but just a nice light weight on the ground here with your palms. And then you're hinging that chest or hinging down, bringing the chest to the floor. You should feel that right in the inner thigh here, back of the knee, and then obviously in that low back. Do what range of motion works for you. I'll give you some peace here to focus on your breathing. One more full breath. And a strong exhale, walk the hands back to the center. So we're going to go ahead, come back to the right side. You're going to tuck that heel to the center. You're actually going to swing around to pigeon. So for pigeon, you're extending that back leg as so, and that right leg is going to be bent in the front. Your palms are right below your shoulders. Now, ideally for pigeon, you want your shin parallel with the front of the mat. This is not my strong suit, so I'm doing what my body allows me to do while keeping my hips square with the mat. Now, this is option one. If you want a deeper stretch, you can bring it down to your elbows, keeping a nice straight spine, and even further if you can. I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but you can extend the arms and drop the chest to the mat, resting your forehead, relaxing the shoulders, and melting into the floor. Start high and work your way down. Take your time. Now, you're going to be feeling this in the piriformis, the glute on that right leg, maybe a little bit along the hamstring, probably that hip flexor and that back leg. It's definitely a beautiful stretch for the lower body. Just an FYI, I am not home alone. I have my kids here, so if you do hear them speaking, my apologies. Good. If you are all the way extended, slowly start to bring yourself back to the palms. And once you're there, and once you're all here, I'm going to give you the option to stay here, or we're going to extend that back leg. You're going to center the right arm and slowly bring that arm back and reach to that back leg and pull towards the back. Now you can see my back kind of curves. You want to straighten out and keep those hips square as best you can. Try not to let the core just like hang loose. And you're going to feel this nice and deep in the quad. Don't be here too long. Again, if you don't feel comfortable staying here, just bend that leg. Still feel that stretch. Good, nice and easy release. From here, we're going to stay on the side. We're just going to extend that front leg, and we're going to bring it down to Cobra. So we're going to stretch the core. Cobra, half Cobra is elbows grounded right below the shoulders. Your legs are extended, and you're going to lift the chest up. Gaze will follow. You're lengthening and pulling away from the ears. Should feel this in the core. If you are comfortable and you don't have a sore back or anything, you can stretch into full Cobra. Arms extended. I'm going to stay in my half Cobra and really get the benefit here. So you're contracting the low back and lengthening the abdominals. Continue those deep breaths. You're about halfway through class, so this is a great time to reflect on what you've done so far with your intention, how you're feeling. Do a check with your mindset, your breathing. Good, nice job. I'm going to lower down, and we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders. You're going to tuck the toes and drop the knees and dig the knees and the palms in to press up into all fours. And you're going to bring the toes together, knees come to the outside of the mat, and you're going to sink back into those sit bones towards the heels into child's pose. So this is option one. You're dropping the chest down, arms extended overhead and relaxed, resting the chest down, and again, your sit bones are towards the heels. Option 2, you can stack the fists, and you can rest your forehead on that top fist. If you just don't feel as flexible right now, your range of motion is limited, it's option 2. Option 3, if you do have a towel or a pillow nearby, you can tuck that between the knees and kind of lay your head down on that pillow. Sometimes bolsters are used in yoga class. It's a great option, but pillows work just great wherever you're at. That's a great stretch for the lower back. Option to close the eyes and focus on where you feel that stretch and those deep breaths. We won't be here too long, so we're going to be doing this again shortly. So nice deep inhale. And exhale, shift up to all fours. And I'm going to swing and drop those hips to the floor. Bring it back to the center. And we're going to go to the other side. I promise I didn't forget about it. So you're going to tuck that left leg and lift up and swing around for your pigeon on the left side. So again, leg extended, knee tucked. Again, ideally, if you can get it parallel, great. On the palms, or you can bring it down to elbows or full extension chest towards the mat, almost like child's pose. Keep those hips square, super important here. You might also feel like one side is a little bit more flexible than the other, one side's a little bit tighter. That's completely normal. Again, it's intended to meet where your body is today. Trying to keep those sides even. So if you are extended, go ahead and slowly start to bring it up to the palms. Your palms on the palms, great, stay there. You gotta extend that or curl that back leg here. So center the left arm, right arm reaches back to that right leg. Pull that core in. You're not just pushing the hips down. You're gonna feel that stretch in the quad. Again, your modification would just be to keep it curled and keep your hands grounded. Find that option that works for you. Again, we're not here too long. Deep breaths. Great stretch all the way from the knee to the hip. And that front quad there. Nice deep exhale, release. Back to center. And they're going to go ahead and lift up and shift that leg back. We're going to go into child's pose here. Oh, sorry, Cobra, my bad. So we're going to go ahead and drop it down to the chest, to the belly. Half Cobra option or full Cobra option. Maybe if you did half last time, you're welcome to do it again. Or maybe challenge yourself to that full Cobra. So again, you're pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Your gaze will kind of follow up to the corner of the room as far as you can. And you're lengthening through the rib cage. Your feet are extended and relaxed. Good, one more breath. Exhale, release down, and then bring your palms right underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes and draw the knees and palms in. Press up to all fours. Toes come together, knees to the outside of the mat. Nice deep inhale. And exhale, sink back to child's pose. Remember your options here: full extension, stacking the fists, or if you have a pillow, bolster, or towel that's rolled up, great to put between the legs and to drop your head down. But if you did on the other side on the right and you turned your head to the right, this time on the pillow, turn your head the other direction. If you're rewatching this, maybe something you can think about in the future to add a pillow. My goal for you here is to just kind of release all that tension on each exhale. Get closer and closer to the ground in that relaxation mode and those breaths. Even relaxing the fingers, the toes, the face. Good. I'm going to add on to child's pose here before we transition in our next part of class. You're going to lift up slightly, bring that right arm underneath the left. I'll show you from the front here too. And bring it underneath, and then you're going to sink back to the child's pose position, and then drop your right ear and temple to the floor. I have my headset in, so I can't go all the way down. And then drop that left elbow down. So you're going to feel this right in that upper back region, posterior shoulder. The chest is kind of contracting, but ideally you're stretching that upper back, especially if you're on your desk a lot. Your shoulder blades might be contracted or carry that tension. So this is a great stretch. If you can't feel it, just kind of move your arm up and down along that line to see if you can feel a deeper stretch. Just going to do a couple breaths here. You're welcome to stay longer and do what works for you. Good. Exhale, shift up. Arms are still extended. We're just going to go right into the other side. Sink back and down, left ear or temple to the ground. Good. Last breath. Exhale, shift up. And then inhale to all fours. So ideally, I'd be on my mat here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and swing our feet around, drop to the hips into our next transition. I'm going to swing this way, down to the floor. Hopefully my headset's in here. Okay. So now we're on our backs. We're going to stretch some more legs, maybe stretch the low back a little bit more. So from here, I want you to go ahead and take the left leg up slowly, and then the right. And we're going to go into happy baby. So you're going to really open up the hips, and you're going to reach inside the arc of the foot and wrap your fingers around the outside. And do not pull. I actually just want you to drop the shoulder blades down to the mat, which is going to add some tension to the bottom of the feet, which is going to draw your knees to the floor. Here you're going to feel this in the hamstrings, the glutes, but more ideally behind that knee, that hamstring piece. And then it's going to put pressure on the low back, which is almost good because it's taking away that gravity piece. And you're going to really feel a nice stretch in the low back. Now, if you're not comfortable quite there, you can always just kind of grab the ankles as an option if you can't quite reach. I know some people have pants. You can just pull the pants down. Again, you're not pulling, but you can grab on there. And option, kind of just rock side to side maybe. Maybe you really feel that massage in the low back. One more breath. And exhale, bring those legs back together, release down to the mat. You're going to go ahead and to a bridge just to stretch what we just contracted. So arms at your side, dig the shoulder blades and heels into the mat and lift those hips up as far as you can. You're going to feel a nice stretch throughout the core, the hip flexor, and the quad. Squeezing the glutes, so a little bit of a strength move here. Get as high as you can. So if you need to, maybe walk the shoulder blades in a little bit more, the heels, holding this pose. Remember those deep breaths. Last breath. Exhale, shift the hips back down to the mat. Draw the knees to the floor by putting the feet together. Nice hip opener. Butterfly stretch here. Arms just can kind of hang out at the side. And you have the option to keep the eyes closed. We're going to do one last move here and before I get into relaxing. So bring those knees together, draw them into the chest, and then wrap your arms around, tucking those knees or the thighs as close to the chest as you can. Kind of stretching that low back and pulling. If that's too uncomfortable on the knees, you can always bring your hands underneath the knees, pull to the chest. It's a great stretch. Two more deep breaths. On that last exhale, lower, nice and easy down. Then extend the legs. This is a couple options. We have about 3 minutes left. And I'm going to give you, I always like to give options at my yoga class for the last piece. So you can lay all the way down into corpse pose. So relaxing the toes, the legs, and then arms come out to the side, palms face up to the sky, and closing the eyes here. You can turn over into fetal position, knees drawn to the chest, and you rest on your bottom arm. You could do legs up the wall. So you bring your mat to the wall and feet are elevated. Your feet, your sit bones are as close to the wall as you are comfortable. And that's going to change blood flow from the legs to the heart versus head to heart. So probably kind of do that in yoga. Or you can go into what we did in the beginning. So seated position, legs straight out or cross-legged. Do what works for you, but this is where I want you to kind of think about how class went today, how your body feels, reflect on your intention you set at the beginning, and just clear the mind of any stress, negativity in your life. So as you started class today, this is about you improving, better health. And just bring yourself back to a natural breath. I'm going to give you these 2 minutes to relax in your own headspace. You're more than welcome to stay here, but Otherwise, we're going to slowly start to wake up the body, the toes, the fingers. Again, you can stay whatever position you are. And we're going to slowly come up to a seated position. Legs straight out or cross-legged here. Bring your hands to heart center, palms pressing firmly together. And from here, I want you to bring your thumbs on the third eye between the eyebrows. And here, I just want to take time to thank you for coming to yoga today, taking time for you, taking time out of your day to be with me, to be with yourself. And I hope you enjoy how you're feeling. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week, your weekend, and the days ahead. Namaste.